And we're recording. Hopefully I can do this all in one take. But I know it's not fully required to kind of have like a PowerPoint to go with your 5-minute video. But just to keep my own thoughts sort of together, I just put together a quick 13-page PowerPoint that you can see in front of you. The core standards I'm choosing to go with for this unit are the Minnesota English Language Arts standards, also known as Minnesota ELA. Because I'll be teaching 7th grade English, and I'm hoping to transfer the Washington, D.C. One into a Minnesota teaching license. So let's go to the next slide here. So here are the standards as of 2020. As you can see up here, it's like grade, and then like the strand is reading, writing, and then there's the anchor standard, the code as it's referenced, and the benchmark. This is just the reading section and all the different reading sections. And then it continues. This is all just for 7th grade as well. Only English language arts, 7th grade. That's it. And it keeps going down and eventually transfers to writing strand, keeps going. And then finally it ends on listening, speaking, viewing, and exchanging ideas. And I'll go over sort of the big ideas so that you guys don't have to go through all that information, because it's a lot. Just to compare it in a reference real quick, to start with something a bit more I think everybody here is familiar with, are the CEFR common levels. These really focus on, as you can see, the first 2 words of each of these levels is can understand. I think honestly, it's not until about level B2 that you start to see them actually describe students who can produce something or can like analyze text, not just understand it and hear it, but also like transform it into their own opinion, which I think is more closer to what like this 7th grade English level is to be able to analyze something and transform it. But as you can see, like CFR is very, very focused on not just like English literacy, but more so English comprehension. So the big ideas of ELA standards are, in the reading section, the verb analyze is the most used. So it's like a heavy emphasis on the student will not only read and comprehend a text, but also sort of reverse engineer why a text was a certain way, why the author wrote it a certain way. That's just to improve critical thinking, a skill that's usually used, that's virtually used in every single profession. Critical thinking skills are essential in the common workforce. Next up is the writing section relies on the phrase like write to blank. So for example, write to inform, write to persuade. It's just the key is the students learn to write with a purpose, not just like write a diary or anything like that. It's to write with a goal, for the person they're writing to, whether it's to entertain them, whether it's to inform them, a persuasive. So it's a lot of exercises on that. It's just to establish cohesive writing and grows the skills of written communication for students, not just relying on oral conversation. And finally, the listening, speaking, viewing, and exchanging ideas. This was a very complex section. There's a lot of overlap in language in this, I would say, but it definitely relies on the words like create and collaborate. And it really just kind of boils down to, can students work with each other to express themselves through speaking and written work? Which they create, of course, being able to produce content, not just consume content. A lot of like the reading has been a lot of just consume the reading, analyze the reading, but we want you to transform your opinion of the reading into something, express yourself, which is a big skill, honestly. As we get more and more enamored with like entertainment apps, students do need skills in order to become creators, or else they just are constant consumers. So some lesson examples, just in brief, referencing some of those last codes. So like a reading one would be like analyzing plagiarism. As you can see, display the example paragraph. and then like have play a little game of telephone and discuss why plagiarism is illegal. Writing, like analogy creation, students will randomly choose 2 words from a container and have to like sort of create an analogy from those words. It allows them to sort of stretch out their writing vocabulary. And then expression, debate, like I said, expressing, how you feel about something. Getting an activity where, sorry, my head's in the way of that one a little. 2 students kind of partner up, and it could literally just be about pets. It could be about, as long as you're giving them a structure to organize their thoughts and then produce. So how to assess formatively, basic stuff, comprehension checking questions in class, Kahoot quizzes, participation, like not flip sheets, just basic participation checklists. Yep. And then summatively is very much so done through the Division of Statewide Testing, also known as the Minnesota Comprehensive Assessments, called the MCAs, big deals. And it's basically the state benchmark for assessments. If you need to adjust this to differentiate for virtual, ELL, and SPED, virtual, it's easy because the MCAs are already completed on computers. So it's just creating that designated computer time, and you just have to find a way to differentiate students to be under supervision. And the MCA also software is created to block out all other software, so they can't look up answers. For ELL and SPED, there is the Minnesota Test of Academic Skills. As quoted here, they're basically the exact same thing as the MCAs, but the questions are easier. They're on the same grade scale as the MCAs, but it's built for people with cognitive disabilities, or if they need translators, that can be accommodated through the MTA. And then to differentiate your activities for virtual, ELL, and SPED, that's really lesson by lesson basis. I'm kind of running out of time here, so I don't have too much time to go into detail about that, but you kind of just have to look at your lesson, see what your common goal is, and then readjust it for the students in your class as needed. Here's some just quick references, but other than that, that's my quick video.